Hello and welcome to today's Zwift Games race. This is the last stage and it is a rather special one. It does not even count towards the final GC. It's just for fun as far as I understand it. You can choose between an ITT and this steering only race. I didn't think much about it and just jumped in the first race I found. And with that, we are off. Immediately, you can see the resemblance to the repack rush route in Vatopia. I did it a few times for fun, but after the first few times it lost its excitement. The red bars on the floor make you significantly slower, while the blue bars give you a boost. In addition, apparently you also get a boost power up. You can steer left and right with your Zwift Play controllers. This allows you to get the perfect route. The course is very short. One lap is only 2 kilometers and the complete race is only 8 laps. In addition, the boosts increase the pace significantly. So this will be a very short race. That is a good thing, because I will focus so much on the steering that I will not be able to modulate my power. The full race will be in zones 4 and 5. While I push at the front, you can see the first opinions of other riders regarding the race format. One compares it to Mario Kart. I think that it's a bit of a stretch. While Mario Kart feels similarly unfair, it at least controls well and responsive. And even though the characters in Mario Kart are not human, they still move more realistically than the riders here in Zwift. Other riders just steer left and right and move very fast across the lanes, while for me it sometimes feels as responsive as a turtle on its back. Other times you move very fast from lane to lane. In addition, the boost zones have a really unpredictable hitbox. Sometimes you are getting hit while it feels like you should not have been. Other times you manage to dodge a red zone. You can even move right between them, even though there is no gap. Most of the time I was fighting the wobbly controls while not paying attention to any attacks or draft. I didn't even look at the positioning on the right or who I was racing with. Not paying attention is also not too bad, since the boosts are way more important than draft. Similarly, the red pads on the floor really slow you down. So for me it was pretty much an ITT while trying to play Jenga with gloves on. That being said, I was not doing too bad. One rider managed to get a really big gap, but I was in the group with most of the really good riders. Surprisingly, I was even racing a few riders from Dragons, like Jan Ifner. Even the self-proclaimed best Zwifter, Njol Pedersen, was in this race. Here I managed to drive the corner really well. After that, on the straight, I got 2 boosts. Even though the steering didn't feel too great, I still managed to close the gap to the group in front of me. This is a good example where I think the hitbox didn't feel right. In addition, I think I also steered to the right, to avoid the red box. But since in-game there was a left corner, I still got hit by the slow down effect. Similarly, I found out that you don't get hit by the red box right in front of the finish line when you steer wide before the corner. Even though it looks like you should get hit, you move just past the red box on the floor. At this point in the race, the front group is really stretched out. There are some big gaps between smaller groups of riders. I don't worry too much about it, since at this point I have accepted that you don't close gaps with high watts and good moves on the bike, but with frantic clicks on your Zwift controller. The gap between the front group and us has widened significantly. The gap is almost 3 seconds. This would be fine in a normal race, but since the pace here is much higher and your power feels like it makes no impact, the confidence is low. Looking back at the video now, it seems like we only made it back since all of us got 2 boosts in a row. Maybe the front group got hit by some brake segments, but since it felt more accidental than on purpose, it does not feel too rewarding to get back to the group. We are starting to lap some people, and someone in chat is voicing some very harsh opinions on this new game mode. I will try to be more subtle in the end, but I can understand him. Starting the last lap, I'm in the front group with Njol and some Dragon Riders. Still, it does not feel like there are any purposeful attacks. Everyone just fights the controls and tries not to lose too much. I use my power up boost, but it feels like it makes no impact whatsoever. Somehow, Njol manages to get a decent gap within just a few seconds. His power remains steady at about 5 watts per kg. So he just got lucky on the boosts, or he might have a better feel for the controls. I try to close the gap to Fecke, not by putting in more power, but by trying to get as many boosts as I can. I get lucky quite a few times and get in front of him. I keep up the power to make sure I stay in front. Njol still only has a gap of about 2 seconds. I have no idea how, but somehow the gap has increased by 5 seconds on the last kilometer. I tried to finish strong with a sprint and managed to get the 6th overall place. While it is a good result for me, it does not feel earned. I feel like I just got lucky and others didn't. I didn't get the 6th place because of my high power or good strategy, but because I got lucky a few times. I can see what Zwift tried to do here, but the controls just feel too indirect and random to make any fun. I really hope they only make races like this for beginners. They might like the gamification. For me, I just want to race on neutralized bikes against other talented riders. This race was an interesting experience. It is definitely enough for me though. Thanks for watching.